Good evening, everyone. We're coming on the air because there has been a deadly incident at an arena in Manchester, England, where pop star Ariana Grande was holding a concert. There are reports of explosions, and at this hour, multiple law enforcement officials tell NBC News there are at least 20 people dead, many more injured. We want to go right now to NBC's Kelly Cobier in our London newsroom. Kelly, what are you hearing from there?
Well, Lester, this all started about 10:30 local time at the Manchester Arena at the end of this Ariana Grande concert. Witnesses on social media report hearing a loud bang, possibly an explosion. It's not clear if this came from inside or outside the arena. People there say they simply ran for the exits. There was a fair amount of panic inside as people tried to get out. This is a large arena. It holds about 20,000 people. It's in Manchester, which is the UK's second largest city in the old industrial northwestern part of the country. And we're now starting to see some pictures on social media of some of the injured coming out with bloodied arms and legs wrapped in bandages. Some witnesses say they saw people with cuts on their heads, but no eyewitness accounts yet of any more severe injuries. There are emergency vehicles wrapping that arena now on scene trying to treat the injured. Police are trying to keep people away. They're telling people to stay away. And we're now getting reports that police have cordoned off a massive area in that center part of Manchester, including the central station there, Victoria Station. Now, the UK has been on a severe alert level since 2014, which means a terrorist attack is highly likely. But it's not clear at all yet if this is terrorism or some sort of accidental explosion and then a stampede. But as you said, Lester, and it bears repeating, reports of 20 dead now and hundreds injured. Lester?
And Kelly, as we were about to go on the air, I was looking at some of the accounts. Is it your understanding this occurred as the concert was letting out, or is that clear?
It looks like it was at the very tail end of the concert. In other words, what we're seeing from social media and from what eyewitness reports is that the concert was over. It had just ended when there was this explosion, and then people started heading for the exits. So just at that very last moment after the concert ended. So again, this could have been some sort of malfunction or explosion inside of some sort of equipment, concert equipment, arena equipment. It could have also been something more nefarious, an explosion, some sort of an attack. At this point, we simply don't know. Lester?
All right. Kelly Cobier in our London newsroom again. The reports of the explosions at that concert in Manchester, England. We've learned at least 20 people dead, perhaps hundreds injured. There will be continuing coverage of this on.
Good evening, and we come on the air at this hour because we are following developments out of Manchester, England. Reports of an explosion at an Ariana Grande concert at the Manchester Arena there, one of the largest arenas, in fact, in Europe. And we have a piece of video we want to show you at home where you can faintly hear the explosion at that concert. That is the audio right there. It's believed the explosion occurred at the end of the Ariana Grande concert. The video coming in from the scene tonight, you can see concertgoers racing out of the arena in horror. We are told the artist herself is okay. What's unclear at this hour is whether or not the explosion happened inside the arena or right on the outside perimeter. Authorities, as you can see, are on the scene. In fact, police had tweeted out before we got these images that they were responding early on to some sort of an explosion, urging people to stay away from the area. They have confirmed multiple fatalities and a number of injured right there at the scene. But again, as I mentioned, the artist herself was rushed, it would appear, to a safe place. You can see the police presence. I want to bring in, as we look at these pictures, our chief foreign correspondent, Terry Moran, tonight. And Terry, as I mentioned, this arena is famous in that region and perhaps one of the biggest in Europe.
It is certainly one of the main concert and sporting venues in the United Kingdom and therefore in all of Europe. And you could hear blocks away the size of that explosion. This explosion, coming about 10:45 p.m. local time, not only rocked the arena and sent people inside, as you can see, fleeing for the exits. It could be heard right around for blocks around, and police quickly put an armed presence around there. They have locked down that scene. That arena stands over one of the major subway and train junctions in Manchester, which is a major rail junction in northern England. And so that whole area is now shut down. We are not being told at this point by Metropolitan Police in Manchester what the nature of this explosion is, but we are being told, as you say, there are multiple fatalities, many injured, and thousands upon thousands of traumatized and frightened concert goers.
Of course, we do not know if this was a terror attack or what kind of plot, if any, was involved here. But the sheer panic that you can see on the concert goers' faces, because Europe has seen this, it is a fear here in the U.S. as well, as you know, Terry, that the so-called soft targets in a concert like this one, an Ariana Grande concert, could be a potential target for lone wolves out there and people affiliated with some of these groups who do, in fact, want to do harm. And that's going to be something that we'll be investigating into the night. But as you can see, pictures from the scene, Manchester, England, that's the Manchester Arena, where an explosion has occurred at an Ariana Grande concert, multiple fatalities and multiple injuries. We'll continue to follow this throughout the night at abcnews.com. For many of you in the West, a West Coast edition of World News Tonight is coming up shortly.
Trace also out in L.A. monitoring all of this, as we all are, across all of the platforms that we have. Trace, what are you reading? What are you seeing as you scan through things here as well?
A little bit of new information, Martha, because remember, we have been focusing right now on the Ariana Grande concert exclusively inside this arena, which holds some 21,000 people, and there were some reports. We have been hearing kind of a stream of eyewitnesses coming out talking about what they heard and what they saw. We just saw some video of a witness that was just to the outside of the arena, and you could hear what sounded like an explosion. This is from the outside. It was really loud, an extraordinarily loud explosion from the outside, so you can imagine what it was like on the inside. Again, the early reports were saying that was something on the right-hand side of the stage, as if you were looking at Ariana Grande performing. She had just walked behind the curtain, and then the explosion happened, they thought, on the right-hand side of the stage, but then we saw the video and there was no smoke. Well, now the UK Transit Police are focusing on the foyer. They're focusing near the ticket office, believing the explosion did not happen inside the arena proper where the 21,000 plus were, but possibly in a foyer on the side of the arena. Remember, we talked about this being kind of a contiguous building with Victoria Station that goes right into Manchester Arena, and now the focus seems to be not in the arena itself, but on the side area near a ticket office in the foyer. And the numbers we're getting, which we have not confirmed, are very bad, and we have no way of confirming that except until police tell us. But it gives you a better idea of now where they're focusing and why so many people would come out of this arena and not see the injuries and the fatalities that the police have been talking about. And it seems now that the focus has shifted a bit from off of the arena to the side of the arena, which also explains why it was so loud on the outside instead of, you know, because the sound percussion inside is very good. If this was in near the ticket offices in one of the foyers on the outside, it would be much louder. And that, from our understanding, is where this investigation is at least focusing. But again, they talk about a high number of injuries. We see the ambulances on scene. We see them pull up. We have seen them drive away. And we have yet to see any pictures of people being carried away in stretchers. The injuries that we have seen appear to be, for the most part, superficial. We're talking about people with some blood on their legs and their knees and, you know, maybe some hand injuries and so forth, but we haven't seen the injuries that have been described to us by some of those officials who have been talking about this, saying there are a number of fatalities and many people were injured or wounded in this attack. So as we get more information, it'll become clearer now, but maybe the focus is switching a little bit to the foyer and not inside the arena itself. Martha.
Quick, Corey. Which way? Come on. Corey needs to get round. Corey, get round this way. Come on. Stay in the car. Come on. Corey. Come on, lad.
Because people hear a bang and then they panic. Yeah, but running in one direction doesn't make any sense.
It's just people overreacting, or?
Yeah, I think so. I'm thinking.
I know, yeah.
I'm thinking too. Well, if you're going to die, you might as well die at Ariana Grande. That's why she was saying bye.
Let's talk to Andy Holy, I think who's on the line. Andy, hello to you. I think you were waiting for your a couple of family members who were actually at the concert?
Yeah, that's right. I didn't go to the concert, my wife and daughter did, so I was waiting up at the first set of white doors. As I was waiting, an explosion went off and it threw me through the first set of doors, about 30 foot to the next set of doors. When I got up and looked round, there was about 30 people scattered everywhere. Some of them looked dead, might have been unconscious, but there was a lot of fatalities. So my first thing was to run in the stadium, try and find my wife and daughter. When I couldn't find them, I went back out, and with the police and the fire and ambulance, whoever was there, I looked at some of the bodies, trying to find my family. But luckily, they weren't there. Managed to find them outside the arena and got them back to the hotel we're in. But I phoned up because so many reports coming in that it was like a balloon and things not happening as it was. It was definitely an explosion, and there's definitely a lot of fatalities.
Right. I mean, we're actually looking at the police statement from Greater Manchester Police confirming a lot of what people have been saying. A number of fatalities have occurred as a result of this. A number of other people have been injured as well, and people are being told to avoid the area. This explosion, a lot of force then, it actually blew you off your feet.
Well, I'd been talking to one of the arena girls in a yellow coat while I was waiting for my family to come out. And me and her got through the doors towards the wall where they go in. And she got up, she was all right. And then I got up, looked around, and then it was some force. I mean, my ears are still ringing now, so I might be talking a bit loud. But it was, the whole building shook.